Hi students, this is Dr. Badrinath. Very interesting and important point. Okay, the concept skeletal muscle relaxants. Very clear cut title. How to relax. See here, I am not doing any meditation or yoga to relax total my body. Here the concept is only skeletal muscle relaxants, not the total body relaxants. Okay, so clear cut title. Why we have to relax, what is the purpose, okay, and how we have to relax. We are relaxing here by giving the medication. I am going to give a various medications here. With the help of that medications, I am going to relax the skeletal muscles. Okay, right. Now see here, clear cut title, skeletal means a skeleton. Here by seeing that you can be find this is a skeleton. And muscle, see all those are the muscles. Muscles, keep in your mind, muscles which are attached to the skeleton is called as a skeletal muscle. Muscles which are attached, only attached to the skeleton system, only called as a skeletal muscles. Remaining are called as a smooth muscles that doesn't need the skeleton system support. Whereas the skeletal muscle name itself indicate muscles compulsory, it needs a support of the bones, skeletal system, right? Okay. So how to relax this skeletal muscle? So we are studying a subject of pharmacology 1. Okay. That comes in the this year for pharmacy, but however this is important for B pharmacy, M pharmacy, and also for the pharma D students, and also for the nursing, for all paramedical BLT, or for all paramedical course only. And this is a topic what we are going to be study. Neuro, see here, name clearly listen. Neuromuscular blocking agents. Neuro means neuron. Muscular means muscle. Neurons, muscles connection will be there. That point is called as a neuromuscular junctions. Neuromuscular blocking agents, also called as a, and skeletal muscle relaxant. Skeletal muscle relax, both are same only, exactly same, need not to be hurry, need not to be any, don't think too much. Okay, skeletal muscle relaxants are also called as a neuromuscular blockers. Many students, they are mistaking in the examination. In the exam they will give you the name neuromuscular blocker, but actually he don't know the name of neuromuscular blocker, but he know everything about the skeletal muscle relaxant. So simply he was not attempted. He just left the examination. That he thought that he don't know. See, just the name is same only. Skeletal muscle relaxants. Skeletal. This is a skeletal. This is a muscles. Okay, relaxants agents which do SMR. We are shortcut. We are calling it as same is equal to neuromuscular blockers. Neurons also, see here. We are using a neuron, we are using a muscular, and skeleton is there. Three are there: neurons, musculars, skeleton. Okay, so this is also called as a neuromuscular, NMB. So short name I will use as a NMB or SMR. Both are same only. Okay, yeah. Why we are calling these are called as a skeletal muscle relaxants? Why we are calling? Already I already told you that all the muscles needs a support. Muscles needs a support of the skeletal system. Then only we can call it as a skeletal muscles only. Okay. Then why we are calling as a neuromuscular blockers? Neuromuscular. Because for the contraction of all these skeletal muscles, you need a signals from the neurons. All the neurons comes from the brain, that you know very well. From the brain it descends to the spinal cord. See here, spinal cord will be there. This is a cross section of the spinal cord. From the spinal cord the wires will come, electric wire. Okay, like we know that there was a repolarization and depolarization, everything that we know very well. See here how the electric connections are connected here through the wire. So what happened, this is a muscle, this is a neuron. So neuron releases the acetylcholine, ACH. Then only the muscle will contract. You are able to contract. Acetylcholine will be released from the neurons. That point you have to keep it. So acetylcholine will be released. It go and binds with the acetylcholine receptor, which is already present in the muscle. Okay, so muscle will start the contraction. Okay, now what you have to do? You don't want contraction here. You want relaxation. You want relaxation means you have to block all the receptor, acetylcholine receptors, which are present on the acetylcholine receptor, which are present on the muscle. So you are going to be block it. So acetylcholine, even though it comes from the neuron, it will be blocked since acetylcholine receptors are blocked here. So there is no place for acetylcholine. So your muscles, whatever is there, it will not be contracted. So relaxed. So only one thing you have to point here, you have to contact with that. This muscle is having a connection with the neuron system. Okay, and this muscle having a support of the skeleton also. Okay, support. That's why it is called a skeleton muscle, and a neuromuscular signals are coming from the neuron system through acetylcholine. That, so how to block? What are the drugs we are using? This one, that we will now we will see. See, this is a difference between there are three types of muscles are there. Skeletal muscles, the muscles which are attached to the skeleton, is called as a, which needs the bone support. Whereas you see here, stomach, small intestine, large intestine doesn't need the support of the skeleton system. Okay, it exists in the body without any support of the bone. That's why these are called as a smooth muscle. And also keep in your mind, this is, if you want to move your stomach, you cannot move. If you want to move your intestine, small intestine, large intestine, it is not possible. Smooth muscle movement will be possible only after autonomic nervous system only. That point you have to keep in your mind. Autonomic nervous system. Skeletal muscle voluntary means if I want to move my arm, my muscle, I can move it. Okay, that is called a skeletal muscle system. It needs a support of the bones. Cardiac muscle, it is a separate way. That is a, it is having a contractility, etc. It is having some special features. So we cannot categorize it under the skeletal system, or we cannot categorize it under the smooth muscle. Very, very important. So here our point of interest is the skeletal muscle relaxants only. How to relax the skeletal muscle. That is only our focus point. Focus point. That's it. Remaining, we are not at all bothering about the smooth muscle and cardiac muscle here. Okay. Yeah. Why we have to block? If we block the neuromuscular junction, NMJ, what happens and why we have to block? See here, what happens first, that we will see. What happens when you block this? See here, see my pointer cursor, see here, when I block this neuromuscular junctions, what happens? Muscle will become relax, because acetylcholine, you stopped here acetylcholine, you blocked completely acetylcholine. That is only the mechanism of action. I will explain you later. So what happened? There is no acetylcholine action. There is no contraction. So muscles will become relaxed. Okay. Muscle tone of the muscle, all are same only. All these points are very same, very interesting, but students are confusing. But all are similar name only. Muscles are relaxed, no contraction, decreased muscle tone. Muscle tone will be reduced. Muscle toughness is decreased. Muscle hardness is decreased. Okay, it decreases muscle rigidness. Rigid means, you know, spongy like texture. You will get a very spongy, fluffy like muscle. Okay, and it causes a paralysis of the muscle. Paralysis, you know, this is like this, both hands and fell down, it can't do any work. So here what happened, when you block this, muscles will get paralyzed. Even though if you want to move, you cannot move, because you already, your muscles are relaxed now. Okay, if you are taking this medication, paralysis of the muscle, paralysis, not functioning, not working, almost not functioning. That point you have to, our muscles are almost not functioning, not resist, it doesn't give a resistance, it doesn't fights, easy to cut, since it is a spongy like structure, fluffy like structure, easy to cut. So why we are using this, all these things, why we need to put the muscle in a spongy condition? Why what is necessary? See here, why means hunting the animals. I will tell you what is the hunting animals. Surgery, this is the main key point here. Why we are using is the surgery. If you want to do a surgery, for doctors it will be very easy to cut. So the doctors, they will give neuromuscular reagent before the operation. Just they will give inject the IV through IV route only. This is no oral route, nothing. Okay, so doctors will give you the injection IV, so your all muscles will be relaxed, skeletal muscle. Then what they will do, they will give anesthetic and they will start cutting off the your skin or whatever it may be. So your muscle is in the relaxed condition. Okay, that point you have to keep in your mind. Okay, since here patient is alive, patient is alive. That point, you patient is alive and you are doing. Whereas in chicken, shall we use this? Because here he is cutting the muscle. So you need any muscle relaxant here? Nothing, because it is already dead. It is already dead. So that's why whenever if you want to cut in a chicken or cutting a mutton, muscle relaxants are not at all required, because already you have killed the animal. But here without killing you are doing. Okay, that's why here body is always giving a acetylcholine. Even though you are sleeping, body will release the acetylcholine. That acetylcholine will go and try to contract the muscles. Okay, so hunting the, so chicken cutting, mutton cutting not required. Surgery of patients, definitely these are required. So muscle will be in the spongy condition, very fluffy condition, easy to cut. Okay, that and all. Hunting the animals, that we will see. See, actually this concept we have learned from this gentleman. He is a gentleman. He only told the subject to us. Really, he only told the subject us, because they are using a tuberculare leaves. See, this is a long pipe, and in this pipe consists of a small needles like this. See here, these needles. In this needle they will put the needle, which is, that needle is already immersed with the skeletal muscle relaxant, that is a tuberculare leaf extract. They will crush the leaves. That leaves will be, they will apply to the needles and they will blow like this. If they will blow, what happens, the inside needle whatever is present here, which is having already coating with the leaves, smooth muscle relaxants, it go and hits the animal. So your entire muscle will be paralyzed here. So total this pig is paralyzed. Now it is very easy, so it can't run very far away. Okay, 2 or 3 feet it may go maximum, or like that. But so for him now it is very easy to hunting. So that's why they are using in those days. So for hunting this is required. Okay, and also for the surgeries it is required. So he is a model, role model for us. Okay, from him only. So this is also called as arrow poisons, indigenous to South Americans, not South Africa, South Americans they use it. Here you can see the real picture of the thing, how he is blowing that arrow poisoning. In 1942, Griffith and Johnson suggested that D-tubercularium, which is available in the forest leaves, those one only they are used. So this is very, very important. D-tubercularium, okay, is a safe drug to use during a surgery also. And succinylcholine for the first time. Succin, this is also very important, not acetylcholine. Succinylcholine, succinylcholine for first time introduced by these two persons in the 1942. History is not required. But if you see the classification of the neuromuscular blockers, there is a 4 type: competitive, very, 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 very important one. Competitive, non-competitive. Competitive also called as a non-depolarizing blockers. Competitive are called as a non-depolarizing blockers. Here, see, the name is changed. Here competitive come, here non-depolarizing come. Here non-competitive come, here depolarization come. Just opposite. Vice versa, like that you can remember easily. Competitive, non-depolarizing. Non-competitive, depolarizing blockers. Okay, these two are very, very important. Directly acting muscle relaxant, only one drug is there. I will explain you. And miscellaneous, aminoglycosides. This is also one drug only. Here I have already mentioned miscellaneous. So we will discuss these two. Okay, mechanism of action, everything and all, classification. Aminoglycosides. Yeah. See here, neuromuscular or skeletal muscle relaxants, whatever it may be. Here I have already told you non-depolarizing blockers. That means that competitive. Here depolarizing blocker, that means non-competitive. Very, very important. If you see the classification of the first one and two, succinylcholine comes under the depolarizing. That means that non-competitive. This succinylcholine is also called as a suxamethonium. Suxamethonium, very, 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 very important. Number of times it was appeared. Suxamethonium is also called as a succinylcholine. Okay, success choline, not acetylcholine. Okay, and non-depolarizing blocking agents, curare alkalides like a D-tube curare, metocurare. See here, curare. Curare is a keyword here. D tuberculare, metocurare, meat curare, like that, meat. Okay, go and meat like that, meat curare. And synthetic compounds, these are synthetically prepared. Actually, the gentleman what I have shown, South American, they are using D tuberculare, which are naturally available alkaloids, which is naturally available from the plant sources. Here synthetic, this is also very important. In the exam they will ask you, find out from the following, find out synthetic non-depolarizing blocking agent. So they'll give one of this, two of this, and succinylcholine. So you have to choose that synthetic compound, since they have mentioned clearly synthetic compound, non-polarizing. So these are the synthetic non-depolarizing. Okay, or sometimes they will call as a competitive synthetic compound, which is used for neuromuscular, like twist they will give. So this classification, that's why very important. You have to practice it many times, very important for all competitive and regular examination, including a drug inspector, NIPER, everything. Okay, yeah. Synthetic compounds, two types are there based on their chemistry here, based on the chemistry structure. Tetrahydro isoquinoline based agents like a atracurium. Curium is important. Atracurium, mivacurium, doxacurium. Whereas steroid based agents, pancuronium. See, pancuronium, vecuronium. See, either rhonium or curium. See here, all these are the curium. Here rhonium will come. Here curium will come. Here rhonium will come. See here, like that you have to steroid based. It consists of a four structured that we know very well. Four benzene ring like structures will be there. That is called a steroidal structure. Very clear cut and very important. And now in the exam they will ask you long acting, short acting, and intermediate acting also. So this entire these terms you have to learn in the sense of timing. See, long acting, pancuronium, it lands, if it is giving to the injection to the body, patient body will be relaxed more than 100 minutes. 100 minutes means it is more than 2 hours. So within the 2 hours, doctors will do a surgery. If they want, they will give one more injection also. That is not another topic. But 2 hours, keep in your mind. Long acting, pancuronium, pan, like that you can remember. Pancuronium. And intermediate acting, it acts more than 1.5 hour, 1 hour to 1.5 hour, like atracurium, vecuronium, same only. All these are, but here based on the structure I have mentioned, here based on the time only, same compounds only. Okay, atracurium, vecuronium, recuronium, okay, cistracurium, and mivacurium, like that. Here you will get. Yeah, now you come to the succinylcholine. There is a two types of mechanism of action. This mechanism of action is one, and all these are the same mechanism of action only. There is no change at all. No change at all. So you are very lucky, because if you know only one slide, entire mechanism of action one type, and here also only one slide. That is enough for mechanism of action. So succinylcholine mechanism of action. So in general, what happens? See here, this is acetylcholine receptor. Acetylcholine, whenever this is a neuron, this is a muscle, neuromuscular junction. So you want to block the acetylcholine, should not be react with the acetylcholine receptor. So succinylcholine you are giving. So succinylcholine, it go and binds with the acetylcholine receptor. So there is a no place for the acetylcholine. See, all acetylcholines are here only. So there is no contraction of the muscle. So muscles will be in the relaxation only. Same terms only here I have mentioned. These points you have to write in the examination. Succinylcholine go and binds with the acetylcholine receptor. See here, acetylcholine, succinylcholine go and binds with the same post. This is called a post synaptic cholinergic receptors of the motor end plate in advance. Okay. So what happened? It will be blocked. And this is another one, D-tuberculin. I have already told you, non-depolarizing agents. That means that competitive. Here there is a why they are calling is a competitive here. All the D-tuberculin or all curare, whatever you have shown, it looks like a structure like acetylcholine. So it go and binds with the acetylcholine receptor, like a nicotinic receptor which is present at the neuromuscular junction. See here, nicotinic receptor at neuromuscular junction. This is a neuromuscular nicotinic receptor. Acetylcholine will go and binds here actually. Generally acetylcholine will go and bind. Here what happens, since this structure, half of the structure is the same, D-tubercularine, whenever doctor is injected, it go and bind. So there is no place for acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is escaped. So whenever acetylcholine is escaped, sodium cannot enter into the muscle. Sodium influx is completely stopped. So muscle will be relaxed. There is no contraction of the muscle. Whenever there was sodium, then only there is a contraction of the muscle. Here sodium, since acetylcholine is not entered, there is no contraction. No sodium is entered here. So no contraction. So everything is relaxed. That point, same points only here I have mentioned. So binding of acetylcholine to nicotinic receptor, that is generally happen. These things, activation of the receptor, entry of sodium into the muscle. So muscle will be contracted. This is generally happen. But here what happened, non-depolarizing agents we are giving. It block and binds the nicotinic receptor in advance. Okay, so prevents the acetylcholine binding. So no activation of the receptor, no entry of sodium into the muscle. So no muscle contraction, muscles will be relaxed. Yeah, here if you see the pharmacokinetics, all are injections only. Quaternary compounds, all are quantities of that you know very well. Quaternary ammonium compounds like that. All these are the quaternary compounds, not absorbed orally. No tablets are available. Most of the agents administered only IV injection. So that's why here you can see the injection. Atracurium, for your easy remembers, I have shown atracurium bisalite injection USP. It is an injection is available, neuromuscular regenerator. Doctors are giving this one so that muscles will be relaxed. They will do a successful surgery. Okay, don't cross. All these are administered through IV only. It do not crosses the blood-brain barrier also. No analgesic effect. Keep in your mind, there is no analgesic effect with this. So pain will be there. These are not anti-analgesics. Okay, and also no loss of consciousness. Don't think anesthetics are separate. So you have to give the both anesthetic one side so that patient will be not in the conscious condition, and one side you have to give atracurium bisalite injection so that muscles will be relaxed, easy to cut, and the thing. Okay, succinylcholine is metabolized by the. This point is very important. Succinylcholine, whatever you have given, it is metabolized by the pseudocholinesterase. If you want to speedy recovery after the patient after the surgery, they want to muzzle the contact means they can give opposite drug. That is a pseudocholinesterase. They can inject. Okay, so that muscle will be again contracted. You can play with that. If you are giving a pseudocholinesterase, muscle will be contracted. Okay, and if you are giving succinylcholine, muscle will be relaxed. Unwanted effects also there with this, because it shows some little action on the smooth muscles. See here, bradycardia on the heart it acts, on the eye it acts. It increases the pressure, intraocular pressure will be increased. Since we are blocking acetylcholine contraction, heart also will slow bradycardia, like slowly. It leads to dysarrhythmia and even cardiac arrest also it do. Okay, that's why we should not use much. If you are using at a high doses, these are the unwanted effects, unwanted, unnecessary effects. Increases the intraocular pressure. Number of times it will be appeared in the what will be the unwanted effect, or from the following agents of smooth muscle relaxants like that, they will ask in the examination. Hyperkalemia in the patients with hyperkalemia, increased potassium level. Kalemia means potassium, hyper means high. Okay, yeah. And D, last one. D is a direct, like that you can remember. Dandrolin. Dandrolin. This is the only example. This is a third classification. Directly acting muscle relaxants. Mechanism of action, dantrolene. Actually, see here, this is actually happening here. Here, this mechanism of action is somewhat different. This is a cell membrane. In the cell membrane, what happened? There is a ryanodine receptor is there. Ryanodine receptor. So what happened? Here, calcium influx will be there. Whenever there was a calcium influx, okay, calcium, see here, whenever there was a calcium release, then there is a muscle will be contracted. Now what happened? Dantrolene go and binds with this receptor, so it blocks the calcium channel, because it binds with the ranitidine receptor. Okay, Renald pen, you know very well, like a Renald receptor. So it binds with this Renald receptor, so calcium will not be entered there. It was a sodium, here it was a calcium channel blocker. So there is no contraction of muscle. See, it inhibits the calcium release from the sarcoplasm reticulum, inhibits the muscle contraction, so that skeletal muscle will be relaxed. So D stands for dantrolene directly acting muscle. Number of times it was appeared in the examination, right? So I will end my session here. In my channel playlist, you can watch all the subjects.